Welcome back to another episode number three. Can't believe it's number three. It just feels like we just started, but episode three of the Movies, Music, and Middle Age podcast. This is Matt back again with Jordan. Say hi, Jordan.
Hi, everyone.
And yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, everybody. Quick reminder, as always, right? We are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Spotify, and we are also on YouTube. But with that being said, oh yes, also please, if you are listening and you do like, please subscribe, please follow us, whatever it is. Please follow.
By liking and subscribing, you could potentially win a chance to drink out of the fire hose. Um,
You might have to find the marble in the oatmeal
you
first.
might, yeah, you could become a contestant on Wheel of Fish should you like and subscribe to
I
our podcast.
I think we can make an exception if you don't find the marble. If you just subscribe or follow us, we'll let you drink from the fire hose. I feel like that's a pretty fair deal. Don't you? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone's here for the fire hose, if we're honest.
So, for the people out there, if you,
Are
again,
normal
yes,
and
you have no idea what we're talking about. If you're not normal, which means we actually want to hang out with you again, just like our first episode, we are talking this week, this episode, about the massive 1989 hit UHF, which I think made about $300 million. Was it $400 million? No, I'm just kidding. We are talking about UHF from 1989, starring who? Jordan, who's in this movie?
Weird Al Yankovic
Weird
as
Al
George
Yankovic.
Newman,
That's
someone whose CDs I owned many of in my adolescence.
no cassettes, just CDs. Was it pre
It
post
might
C?
have been, yeah, I mean, I definitely owned Fat on CD.
Okay,
So
all right,
I
fair
don't think
enough.
I
Fair.
owned any Weird Al cassettes. Of course, we're
Um,
talking about UHF,
yes,
which makes sense this weekend since no big movie has come out this weekend that you would
no
expect.
big,
No big movie come
no big
out at
movie.
all. No,
Uh,
none that I could think of.
UHF again, 1989, starring Weird Al Yankovic. I looked it up just to get a little kind of info here. This surprised me. I mean, listen, I knew it was low budget, right? But it was made for $5 million, which is insane. I mean, I know you have inflation, but $5 million is the salary
I
for
can
some
believe it.
people. That's a
I can
TV
believe it.
show episode, right? I mean, $5 million is nothing.
You know, the movie had maybe four sets. Like there are sets you see once and never see again. You never
Yeah,
see his
yeah,
apartment again. You never see the
yes.
burger joint again. The vast majority of the movie takes place either
Big
outside
Edna,
or
Big
in
Edna.
Big Edna. Yeah, that big tub of lard. Uh,
It was
so I mean,
filmed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, too, which so if your $5 million budget in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to be fair, it's probably about a $30 million budget in New
your
York.
your dollar's going far in
Your
Tulsa.
dollar is going fair far. I'm sure there was some kind of tax incentives, please. Yes, $5 million
I think
budget in
that's their
Tulsa,
saying
Oklahoma.
on their license plate. Tulsa, Oklahoma, your dollar's going far here.
Your dollar is going far. Yeah, that's a $20 million New York City or California budget.
Yeah. No
So
offense to
five
anyone
million,
listening from
yes.
Oklahoma.
Actually, yes. No, I'd be beyond impressed, which it's funny you bring it up. Quick aside, I saw somebody is listening to us from Alaska. I saw that in our analytics,
Wow.
which I wish I knew who that was, but apparently
Welcome.
somebody in Alaska. So to the person in Alaska listening, hello. But yes, 1989 movie, Weird Al Yankovic, $5 million budget for Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we're going to do this maybe not every week, but maybe once in a while. Quick trivia question for people listening and for Jordan, right?
Yeah,
You're
damn it.
probably not going to get this one, but I'll throw it out there anyway. And I'll give you one hint to be fair. It's from a movie well before our time, right? So just take that into account. There's the famous line from Raoul of Raoul's Wild Kingdom. What is the line? We don't need no stinking badgers from
I
originally. What movie is it from?
okay. I don't know the name of the movie. I know the actual
It,
quote. We
okay.
don't need no stinking badges, but I don't know. And I also know that that's not the first time they've used that in a joking
Yeah, yes. It's a
way. I mean,
famous
I'm
line.
fairly certain that was in Blazing Saddles as well.
I'll give
Um,
you one more hint. Humphrey Bogart was in the movie. And this is an old movie. This is, I'll give you a hint. It's
so I've seen
pre-1950s.
I've seen Casablanca, and I don't recall that in Casablanca.
No,
So,
you're close. It's all right, I'll
but
just tell
the
you.
Corti the something I can't remember the name of the
Treasure
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting that.
Treasure of Sierra Madre from 1948. Yes, and the original line was, "We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges." But
Yeah.
yes, there's a word for that too. When you misquote a line from a movie, I can't for the life of me remember what it's called.
I mean,
But
like when
anyway,
you say, Luke, I'm your father.
correct. Yes. Oh, spoiler alert, please. There's people out there still watching that for the
Ooh,
first
apologies to everybody listening.
time. Apologies. Darth Vader is Luke's father. We are sorry. Don't flame us on
Unless
the
you're German and you knew that what father means
the
father,
fuck?
and you were like, well, he's
Fasha?
someone's dad.
The fascia? Yes, okay. Enough of the trivia questions. So now let's get into the movie a little bit. I'll be honest, when I was probably 8 years old when this movie came out. I haven't seen it in a while. When it first came out, I mean, I probably watched it. I think we taped it off TV. I probably watched it about 20 times. We thought it was hilarious. But I haven't seen this movie in about 20 years. And I forgot, just because I didn't think about it, I forgot how many people were in this movie, right? Fran Drescher,
Yeah,
pre the nanny, right?
yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Richards, right before Seinfeld, because I think Seinfeld was what, 91, 90?
I
Uh,
can look it up, but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
just before
yes, yes. I mean, those are two, and it's funny because I was thinking about this when I watched it. If
Victoria
this,
Jackson. She was in SNL at the time, if I'm not mistaken, or perhaps this
yes.
was just before SNL, so she was right around there.
Oh, so
Um,
Seinfeld, just looking it up, 1990 Seinfeld,
so just
1990.
before,
So if this movie would have came out a year later, I guarantee you it would have been a picture of Weird Al on the cover right next to Michael Richards on the
yes,
poster. They would
and
have taken
and
advantage of that.
also a gentleman whose name
I
I
know where this
never
is going. Let's
knew,
say
but you always know his face. No, it was the guy who played R.J. Fletcher. Like he was, if you needed a smarmy 80s, his name is Kevin McCarthy. If you needed like a smarmy
yes,
80s
yes, yes, yes.
CEO, that was the guy you called. You called him, and he was the guy who doesn't care that you're not getting a bonus this year for Christmas. That was him. That was his role.
I think I thought you were going to say Billy Barty, honestly.
Oh, Billy Bart, no, no.
Billy
I
Barty of Masters of the Universe fame. Billy Barty. Oh God, what was his name?
oh
Gwildor.
my,
Gwildor.
oh my God, no. I just
I really thought that's where you're going because you tend to go towards those
Noodles McIntyre, I believe is
Noodles
his actual.
Macintosh.
Was it Mac? Look
Ma-
up in Noodles
Man,
McIntyre.
the funny thing is you made the same mistake, but you did it on you did she did it on purpose. You made the actual mistake. Yes. Fran Drescher thought he was Noodles McIntyre. Macintosh. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. And yeah, so I thought that was funny, right? Yeah, a couple people in there, pre-Seinfeld, pre the nanny. Yes, and I had that too, Victoria Jackson from SNL. I mean, I don't think she
no.
did anything after SNL. I'm not trying to hate on Victoria Jackson because I think she's funny, but I think it was just SNL. She maybe did some movies, but I think that was it, right?
Yeah, there was no massive explosion for Miss
For
Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson, you don't have a career. Um,
I don't think now I feel like I maybe yeah, Terry as I'm sorry, so yes, Victoria Jackson was uh
Terry.
Terry, Weird Al's girlfriend. Oh, she did.
I do
No.
love, getting into I love her birthday outfit. Like that, she dressed like
Her
a
giant pink.
9-year old. Like not, you know what? Not even nine. I have a 9-year old wouldn't wear that. She dressed like a 4-year-old birthday, pink. Did she have a tiara? I'm trying to
Was
remember if
I
she had
think she
big fluffy
did. Was
shoulder.
that, do you think that was 80s or do you think that was just, do you think that was done on purpose to be humorous or do you think that was just that is what, I mean,
Now,
I wasn't dating when I was 8 years old in the 80s, so I don't know what girls were wearing back then,
I
but
I have to think, Weird Al for people forget the intelligence required to make absurdist comedy, whether it's a music or a
yes.
movie. I mean, just the fact that he's throwing all the mashed potatoes on his plate when he goes over to her house after getting fired, and it looks like him being ridiculous, but he's referencing Close Encounters. Like it's
Did
just
you get that joke when you were a kid? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I did not know that reference at all.
no.
I had to ask somebody when I was a kid. I didn't
I
understand. My mom was laughing and I said, I don't get it. And she said it's
I
from a
didn't
movie,
get
but
it until watching it again for this. Is that I'm like,
okay.
oh, okay. Yeah, at the time, I just thought he was being stupid.
Yes, yes. I mean, it was right. So visually, it's funny because right, he's just. I thought as an 8-year-old, he's just making a mountain of mashed
This is
potatoes.
important. This means
Right, right,
something.
right. I had no idea as an 8-year-old what is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Um, but yes, yes. There's some other jokes in there. I mean, I don't think a lot of people, like you said, right, the singing badges line. We don't need a singing badges. That was in so many movies, but I wonder how many people, when they've heard that in other movies, ever knew. It's one of those things that probably at this point no one knows what the source material was, right? Nobody knew. Oh,
Yes.
it's Treasure of Sierra Madre, right? I mean, at that point, it's 50, 60, 70. It's 41 years later, right? It's already a very old movie at that point. There were some older references in there.
And
Uh,
even Stanley Spadowski, when he continually the way he speaks and the way he says George, I'm like, well, that's of Mice and Men. Oh, I
oh,
got the,
you
I
think
got
so? You think so?
I got the mouse, George. I got the mouse. I'm being real good, George. Being real good with George with that mouse. I'm
I
like,
guess so.
that's a very
I didn't.
I don't didn't look up the trivia, but
No,
uh,
that's a
for
fair.
those who
That's a
don't know, I
fair.
have a degree in English, so when I heard that, I'm like, at the time, he's
John
just
Steinbeck
ridiculous.
of
Yes,
Mice and Men, John Steinbeck,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yes. All right.
Uh,
See.
I'm like, at the time watching it when I was a child, he was funny.
Yeah.
Um, as an
Funny.
adult,
Yes.
I feel a little bit more in line with the gangsters who kidnap him, where I just want to shut him up.
I'm thinking of something orange.
My my
Something orange. You
my
give up?
the thing fell. The thing fell, guys. It's I didn't try to
The
take the
blind.
blindfold
The
off. The
blind
blindfold
fell
off on
fell
its own.
off. Yes. I mean, not. I mean, we jump. We're gonna jump around because that's just how we are. But Michael Richards. I mean, obviously, Weird Al is the star in quotes, right? But Michael Richards steals the movie, in my opinion.
I'd be interested to know whether this movie was what helped him get the role of Kramer because there are he that's take away the
You're assuming that
ridiculous accent.
anybody saw the movie, but
Take away,
yeah.
I mean, take away the ridiculous accent
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and add the regular New York accent that he,
Is that
that everyone he how far off
we're
was
talking about
Stanley Spadowski from Kramer?
the physical, I will give you this, the physical comedy, right? The lunges and
Banging through
the jerky
doors.
movements. Yeah, I will give you that 100%. I never thought about that. I didn't take that in my notes, but thinking about it now as you bring it up, the physical comedy, 100%. That is Kramer to a T. And the hyper energetic, just in general personality. I mean, obviously, how do I put this? The character is a little different, right? But
Well,
yeah,
yes, yes.
maybe. I don't know. I never thought about that. I suppose it's possible. I mean, I think to kind of piggyback off that, this movie, looking back in retrospect, right? I didn't know when I was a kid, but looking back, I kind of knew over the years what had happened. It was not financially successful. It was kind of destined, right, or doomed to fail financially, right? Because I was looking it up, and I knew this too, not as a kid, but I knew it in the past, 20 years or so, that it opened in the same year. So the same year, 1989, it opened with against other movies like Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, which, a few people have heard
Hey,
of that. Ghost,
it's a small
yeah,
little flick.
in India, I think it was an A24
Yeah,
movie.
there's one of the
Uh,
first.
yeah, Ghostbusters 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Batman. I'm sorry, not The Batman. That's a newer movie. Just
Yes.
Batman. And I can't picture, parents, hey kids, right? What do you want to see this weekend? Do you want to see Batman or UHF? And the kids scream, UHF. We
I
want to see.
love
It's
Weird
just,
Al. He's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's not going to happen, right? Like I said, I was 8 years old when this movie came out, and I can tell you, I vividly remember, 100%, there's zero doubt. I saw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in the movies. I saw Ghostbusters 2 in the movies. I saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. My parents did not take me to see Batman for some reason. But I remember seeing movies vividly. I remember going. I remember everything. I don't remember even being aware, at least when it was in the movies, right? I don't remember even being aware that UHF existed. Do you?
No, it was one of those movies um, that was a VHS pickup at a
Okay.
Blockbuster or WPIX Sunday afternoon,
Yeah. Yeah.
right after the community calendar
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And watching of it. I mean, I've seen it. I don't know how many times I've seen it. I've seen it and it was also one of those movies as a kid you didn't need to see from the beginning.
No.
Um, and movies back then weren't like they are now, where you can just start it and stop it. As you usually, if you were lucky enough, you caught it. And the thing I thought was very interesting about this movie, and that I didn't recall, but it felt very much like a sketch comedy. There was a thread throughout it,
Yes.
of obviously of getting this UHF station, keeping the UHF
The
station,
thread
and
was almost
making it.
secondary though, right?
But yeah, but then everything else was like, oh, here's Conan the Barbarian, here's Wheel of
Yes.
Fish, here's the
Conan who?
very
Wait, Conan who?
the librarian. My apologies. Uh, here's a very long India. I mean, the movie starts with like,
Don't you know
what
the
is it
Dewey
like a?
Decimal System? Yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, wasn't it like a 5 minute uh
It
opener
was
to start the movie
oh yeah,
that has
yes,
nothing to
yes,
do with the movie at all? But I
yes,
mean, it was
yes.
great. It was
They
great,
did a really good job. I mean, obviously, listen, it's $5 million budget, but it didn't look even now, it doesn't look like a $5 million. I mean, it doesn't look like $100 million movie either, right? But it doesn't look. Listen, I have seen, as I'm sure you have too, right? I'm sure other people have. I have seen movies that had basically, relatively speaking, right, no budget, and you could 9 times out of 10, you could tell, right? Somebody bumps into a wall and the whole building shakes, right? You could tell, right?
Yes, yes,
You
we've
could
all
see a
seen
boom,
those for
you could
fun,
see
those
a
bad movies.
boom mic overhead, right? You can see those movies. This
Should we do The
movie,
Room? Should we one day do The Room? I mean,
I'll
that's
do
like
anything you want. I'll do
the
any movie.
quintessential terrible movie.
Um, right? I
But
mean, so,
it doesn't look
yeah,
like
correct,
it's to your
correct.
point. And I think the reason it doesn't look like that is because the movie was supposed to, they were in a shitty UHF station. It wasn't supposed to be
Yes,
glitz and
yes,
glamorous. And
yes.
probably we should explain now. I don't think there's anybody who's Gen Z or Gen Alpha listening to this podcast. So I would
What
imagine
UHF
most
means?
people knew what UHF or listening knows what a UHF station is.
Yes. Was the
But
opposite of VHF. So back in the day, right, in quotes,
how long do
this
we
might
have to explain?
yes, you basically had an antenna on the top of your house, on your roof, and you could pick up a signal the same way you could pick up AM and FM, and the major, right, news, or sorry, the major TV stations operated on the VHF frequency, and the basically VHF was to PM as UHF is to AM radio. I think that's a fair way to put it.
FM and AM radio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. VHF would be FM, UHF would be AM.
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
that nobody listens to.
Sometimes
That's
it comes out the static, and it sounds like
yes,
and it sounds like they're talking through a
yes, yes.
bottle underwater
Where
or something.
sad sports fans are calling up to just complain about how awful their team is. But yes, UHF. Um, but yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
like I
wasn't
said,
supposed
yeah,
to look.
it wasn't supposed to be a high budget thing. And I also think, but the difference maybe too, right, is that some of those other cheap movies, right? They're low budget and everything looks bad. You can tell it's cheap, right? Those sometimes those people, I honestly think, thought they were making a good movie, right? They weren't in on the joke, if you will, right? And I think I'm hopefully saying the obvious here, but I don't have any illusions or any delusions, right? That I'm sure the people making UHF knew it was supposed to be goofy, right? There was no, we're not making art, right? We're not making
Correct.
Lawrence of Arabia. Not that it has to be, I'm just saying, but they knew this is a goofy movie. Let's have fun. Let's do a good job. But everybody was probably on board. I'm sure, maybe a couple people are just doing a
No,
job, if you will.
I
But
think it was I mean, you're making a movie with Weird Al. I think at the time people knew who Weird Al was,
yeah,
and also, you know, it wasn't a movie that was poking fun at anyone. Like Weird Al in general, his music and his personality and everything I've ever read about him or seen about him, he's a good guy. He's not a malicious person. He's not doing things to
no,
be. So even though it was a
agreed.
low budget, I feel like everyone kind of knew that like this is a guy, we're gonna make a silly movie. It's gonna be goofy. We're all gonna have a good time. And you
I would
know,
agree with that.
it's not gonna be Oscar bait. It's it's not gonna win any awards, but
No,
we're
but I
gonna have
mean,
a good time doing it.
neither was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? I don't think that was going to win any with an Oscar
Maybe
bait either.
special effects.
Yes, okay, fair. Yes, fair enough. But yes, I
Got you
mean that's
there.
not to quote Martin Scorsese. I wouldn't consider Honey, I Shrunk the Kids cinema either, right? As
Um,
far as Martin Scorsese's definition goes.
you can't see me shrugging my shoulders, but I don't know. That was cinema to me at the time.
Cinema. Yes, when you're eight, when you're eight. But let's talk about. I mean, unless there's something else you want to jump on, I was going to say let's jump. I want to talk about some of the skits because I think you kind of
Yes.
mentioned that there before, right? There's the main plot. Hey, George Newman, right? He's kind of I don't want to call him a loser because he's not a loser. He's kind of a dreamer, right? He's kind of a
Yes. Yeah, I'd agree with
a
that.
daydreamer. The main plot, right? He can't keep a job, right? Which is almost similar, almost the exact same plot of. Well, no, I was gonna say it's Wayne's World, but it's not Wayne's World. Sorry. Can't keep a job. He's jumping around, and his uncle wins a UHF TV station in a poker game because he's a degenerate gambler. And his aunt decides that, hey, he can't hold a job. Let's give him a TV station, right? And that's basically the plot, right? That's basically the plot. And then it's basically, as Jordan mentioned, right? It's an excuse. The plot is an excuse, which is fine. Secondary to just let's have a bunch of ridiculous. I'll call them skits. I don't know if you want to call them skits, but
Yeah, I
I'll
mean
call them skits.
that works.
The first one that I don't know if you knew this. The first I found this hilarious as a kid, and I still find it hilarious now. And I mean, it's beyond ridiculous, but it makes me laugh every time. The Town Talk skit with Emo
Yes.
Phillips.
Which clearly Phil Donahue for those, and also a little bit of Geraldo Rivera. They open up Al Capone's glove box and they find
Yes,
road
yes,
maps,
yes, yes,
which is
yes.
actually more than they actually found in Al
Roadmap.
Capone's vault. Um, uh,
You're thinking of Jimmy. Are you thinking of Jimmy
was
Hoffa's
it Jimmy?
glove compartment?
Was
Yeah,
it?
it was Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, it was Jimmy Hoffa's
Uh,
glove. Yeah.
no, no, it
But
wasn't
I,
Hoffa's glove compartment. It was. I'm fairly sure it was Al Capone's glove compartment.
we'll check back later. If anybody else is listening, please comment in general. But if you're listening and you want to look it up and comment, please. I think it's Jimmy
Jimmy
Hoffa, but we'll
Hoffa's
look it
the
up.
one who was buried at the 50-yard line of the old Giant Stadium.
Supposedly, they never found him. I think he's at the bottom of the ocean. But I mean, the town talk in general was funny, but the specific bit where Emo Phillips is on and he's doing the bit about he's going to show him how to operate the table saw, and then he cuts his
Yes.
finger off.
Oh, oh, so
Is
good. So
is my
ridiculous.
face red?
So
I don't know.
so funny. It's on the floor. Can you? It's
Oh, I
right
think
there.
it's
Can
on.
you pick it up for
I
me?
think it's on the floor somewhere. I so to back up a second. Again 20 years easily since I've seen this movie, and I wasn't sure, and this happens a lot with movies I haven't watched in a while. I really wasn't sure how I was going to react, right? I said, oh, it was hilarious when I was a kid, but a lot changes in 20 years, right? Uh, and as I was watching it, right, I said, oh, okay, I know what's coming up next. I remember. I will say this, I still laughed like I was 7 years old when I saw that scene. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous,
It
but it
was
still made me
very
laugh.
yeah, it was very it was played. I just think it was played very funny. I mean, Weird Al just it's all played serious. Like, so he's not doing it like smiling or like this guy's
Yes,
ridiculous.
yes,
He's like he's
yes.
George Newman is a very sincere individual character. He feels it's like, oh my God, are you
Yes,
okay? Like,
yes.
so it's not like you idiot. What's the matter? It's so ridiculous and it's so funny and it's so simple of a skit. It's just,
It,
what happens if some guy cuts off his finger
And it
on a
almost
TV
makes
show?
me think of it's not, listen, I'm not comparing this to Monty Python, but it almost this movie almost reminds me of Monty Python in from the perspective of if you watch Monty Python, some of this there's no reason. There's no why are they doing it. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, right? There's no it's the fact that they're not having a reason for doing it is what makes it funny sometimes, right? So the same thing here. It's the same logic, I think, right? There's no reason for town talk. It's just goofy,
No,
just for goofy's sake.
it was very much the movie they put out and now for something completely different.
Yes, correct.
It was, and I was thinking that too. It's like, okay, we're gonna be broke by the end of the week, and now for something completely different, Town Talk,
Yes,
and now he's gonna cut off
right.
his thumb,
Correct.
or
There's no reason.
Wheel of. I broke up with my girlfriend because I forgot about her birthday, and now Wheel of Fish, and it's
Right.
like, and
There's
it's such a
no
quick little.
segue. Yes.
No, you don't know when you're gonna go into it. It's not like, oh, what's on the. It's like the camera cuts back, and we're in Wheel of
Special
Fish.
acidity. Special acidity.
Yes, yes,
Which
we're in.
they did such, in my opinion. I mean, there's nothing like, I mean, yes, Town Talk you mentioned, right? Some
Mysteries of the Universe, where you can make
yes.
plutonium from homemade
Yeah,
items you can find at home.
it's made 10 times funnier by he reads it off his little piece of paper that's folded up in his pocket.
Yes, he folds it up and then shows it to the camera.
What does that make?
Mysteries of the Universe.
Plutonium from common household items, which actually that might be a valuable skill set. Dispatch to say they did a really good job with Spatula City. Some of them are just goofy, right?
Oh,
They're just goofy for
Spatula
goofy's sake.
City.
But it
I
looks like
was
a real commercial.
it was so, and it looks like a real commercial for anyone who grew up in the 80s. It was so ridiculous. And it now there are some of them, and I'd be remiss to say this, the times change, you have Gandhi too, and I'm like,
You're jumping
and
ahead,
and
but
I'm
yes.
gonna and I'm gonna say something that maybe 5% of the people would get. I know you'll get, but it was very much a short circuit type of moment where you have a guy who's clearly not an Indian gentleman,
Yes, yes,
um,
yes.
and has no business being dressed up in makeup
It goes
as
so
an Indian gentleman.
quick though, yes. But to be fair to this movie versus Short Circuit, they didn't make a hour and a half movie with that character. Not that that makes it much better, but
Uh, 2 hour
yeah,
and a half
two.
movies with
Sorry,
that
two.
guy.
Oh my God, which we should do. Oh my God, we should do Short Circuit. That anyway, yes, yes, Gandhi to Spatula City, but and it looks like it doesn't look like a. I want to be specific here. It doesn't look the Spatula City commercial didn't look like a an Apple commercial, right, or a Lexus commercial. It looks like one of those local, public access commercials, right? A
It
local
looks like a
company, a
commercial
mom and
that
pop shop.
it looks like a commercial to me that every once in a while, I think everyone has it. You're watching your local channel, 5, 4, whatever, and
Yes.
it looks like a commercial's about to start. That's a national televised commercial, and then like you see like a millisecond of it, and then it cuts, and you're watching a commercial for some like
Jordan's
local
Pizzeria.
plumber,
Jordan's Plumber.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
Jordan's Deli. Uh,
yeah. Jordan's Deli. I
and it cuts, and it's like, okay,
and locks and
this is
locks.
clearly, I don't like locks. I buck a lot of trends here.
Yeah.
And it so clearly looks like a commercial that you would get. Yes, absolutely, that you would get at a local thing that shows up at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night uh,
And they're
back in the day.
clearly, and you know what I love about it? The ending, the ending. I mean, the whole Special City commercial is hilarious, right? But it's like, okay, it's kind of like, hey, you're laughing, but they hit me, at least for me, they hit me perfectly. But at the end, where they cut to the quick scene where it's, oh, I like Spatula so much, I bought the company. And while he's saying it, he's so awkward, but he's clearly reading up the cue cards. But
Yes,
they scripted that
yes.
on purpose. It's perfect.
His
It's
eyes
perfect.
are
Yes,
scrolling across the
left to right.
screen,
Yes.
left to right,
I like it so much, left to right. Yeah, you can't see my eyes, right? I like it so much, I
which is
bought the
even
company.
funnier because on a I don't know if they did this, but like on a meta level, he's not saying anything that requires cue cards, number one.
Yeah, right,
He's
right. It's
clearly
two
reading
lines.
on cue
It's two
cards.
lines. It's
It's
two
2 lines
lines.
and they're personal. It's I like the company so much.
Yeah.
I love Spatula so much. I bought the company. That was it. And he's reading it offline. So now did they write in those layers? I'd like to think they did.
I
But
want to live in a world where they didn't write it that way. And this bit actor who had one scene said, you know what would be funny?
if I acted
If
like
I'm
I
reading
needed
off
to read
cue cards
my own life
and
story on a
Weird
cue
Al
card.
said, "Oh my God, that's genius." Put it. I'm gonna imagine that's how it went down in my head. Yeah, but that's perfect. I mean, all kidding aside, that's so. People tend to overlook comedy as being, oh, it's goofy, it's so easy to write, but it's really again, well, I've never written a movie, but every interview that I've read a ton of books about movies, and many people have said comedy is so much harder to do than drama. And again, I'm not saying drama's easy. I'm just saying, right? But people have said, oh, comedy is hard to do. That's such a great. It's perfect. It's written perfectly. It's such a silly movie. It's such a silly scene, but it's perfect, right? Hey, pretend you're reading up the cue cards. You're so awkward. It's perfectly written.
Yeah, and there's so many bits and so many moments in the movie where it's it's just funny because of how either earnest they are or ridiculous they are because like you said comedy doesn't get the love it gets. Like I love the part where he just grabs a crowbar and he just tells his friend to bash him over the head with it because he got him fired from their
Yes,
job. It's
yes.
ridiculous. The whole movie is ridiculous.
The
It's
whole, but that's
funny.
the point, though. I mean, Wheel of
Yes.
Fish.
Red
And
Snapper.
I
And we could
never
talk
even
again
noted
about the
this.
fact that the actor was born in Utah. Again, this is what happens when you watch these movies. You're like, it's a little bit of a stereotyat that we're doing there, but they don't make fun of them.
I wouldn't even say it's a
It's
little
not
bit.
done
It's
to
a
be. It's
pretty
not done to be.
hardcore
Okay, yes,
stereotype.
it's incredibly a stereotype. Um,
Raoul's Wild Kingdom is pretty much. I think if you look up stereotype
Yeah, but
dictionary.
those one of those poodles are gonna fly. One of them are
Yeah.
gonna fly.
Sometimes it takes them a little longer to get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah. My dog
I,
was not happy. I watched that. My dog jumped up and started barking at the TV when I was watching that
I,
scene. He was not happy with Raoul throwing poodles
an,
out.
another scene. Well, everybody, the six people that I've ever talked about UHF with, but the few people that I have talked about this movie with in my life, right? Always mention the poodle throws the dogs at the window, throws the dogs at the window. Which again, oh my God, Peter would be going crazy, right? But the part of Raoul's Wild Kingdom that made me laugh as a kid, and it did make me laugh when I rewatched this a couple days ago, where he looks at the ant farm and he says, "Look at all their they build these intricate little tunnels." He goes, "Yo, yeah," and he shakes it. He shakes the
Yeah.
ant farm. Oh, look, they're really mad now.
Yes,
That
yes. It
part
was
was honestly probably one of the best lines of the movie. I thought that was 10,000 times funnier than the
turtles. We should have done
nature's
this in the trivia. Turtles are nature's suction cup.
licks it and still sticks it to the ceiling.
Yes.
And Wheel of Fish, a line that I did not notice the first time the first time I watched it. Actually, every time I watched it, I never noticed. When he says, I must have missed it. He said, "One of the winners will win their weight in fish." I don't know why. I probably never their weight in fish. I can picture 200 pounds of red snapper. Yes, that would probably go
You
bad.
should be so lucky with the way prices of fish are.
Let's see what's in the box.
It's a beautiful fish.
Uh, I'm going to jump around a little bit here because we don't have too much time left. Any other scenes you want to jump before I kind of wrap up maybe a little bit here towards the end?
Yeah, there was one last thing I wanted to bring up. I loved as a kid and I loved again as an adult, the Rambo scene.
Oh, yes,
I
please. Sorry.
loved,
Go ahead.
loved, loved the clearly rubber Rambo
I
full body
read
suit
a
that,
rumor.
that
I
he
don't know if
worked
it's
out
true.
for that scene.
No, no, no. I read, and I have to do more research, but supposedly it's true. I have to read. I couldn't find out for sure, but supposedly they tried to get Stallone. He said yes, and then he backed out the last minute
Well,
to
I'm
do
glad
it.
he did because I love the
It's
fact that
yes,
every
that's
time
not.
he hits the button to fire, he looks at the camera and goes, "Urgh,"
I
every
can't do it.
single
I can't
time.
do it.
He
I
did
can't.
it. He did it 3 or 4 times. I laughed every single time.
And
"Urgh,"
Stanley
every time.
Spadowski gets excited every time he blows something up.
Yes. Yeah. It was so,
It's like a high five.
and the fact that, and maybe we'll get to Rambo's at some point, but the fact that he's standing there
Please.
while 15 guys are shooting
Yeah,
and not one single bullet hits him. And I've
we
seen
could do
every
a whole.
Rambo movie, and they've gotten more
Ha-
ridiculous as they go.
Have you seen him? I stopped. I stopped.
I
After they started throwing uh,
let's not
people
jump through
into.
because
Yeah,
we may have to do it because he rips
yeah,
a guy's throat with his bare hands
yeah.
in the last
Actually,
one,
that's an amazing
and
scene.
I'm like,
But
this is ridiculous. But I
uh,
digress. That was what I wanted
yes.
to go in. I loved,
Okay.
loved,
No,
loved
the
the Rambo.
Rambo. Yes, to be fair, Rambo is probably one of the iconic scenes from this movie. If you can use the word iconic with this movie, but I would say that's
We
probably one of
will.
the more
We
memorable
can.
ones.
It's
We
iconic.
can and we will because it's our podcast and we can say whatever the heck we
It's
want on this
iconic,
podcast.
and this movie
It
should
is
have won
iconic.
something.
That's actually what they show in in film school now for how to do action movies.
Cinema. But anyway, you
Yes,
were gonna
cinema,
say.
cinema. So we still have about 5 minutes here, but I want to try to at least maybe wrap it up a little bit here. Overall, kind of a little bit of feedback, right? Overall, I did rewatch it, right? Hadn't seen it in 20 years or so. Did rewatch it. My thoughts on seeing this for the first time in 20 years, I think the spoofs, the skits, whatever you call it, I think they're still hilarious. I don't, the movie, the quote movie aspect there, right? That line was kind of okay. I chuckled. I did a few, you know what I mean? But I still laughed out loud. I did laugh out loud. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect. I was surprised. I just wasn't sure how it kind of hold up after not seeing it for a while. It almost reminded me of, not the same thing, but almost like Beavis and Butthead, where there were the cartoons, but then the funny bits were when they were watching the videos and making the comments, right? The
Yes.
in between scenes
Yeah.
were the funny bits,
Yes.
if that makes sense. I don't know. How did it hold
No,
up for you after not watching? I don't know. Actually, when was the last time you saw it? Have you seen it recently or?
UHF or
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead?
No,
UHF.
UHF.
It's
UHF.
had to have been at least 20 plus years.
And how did you
Had
feel
to have been.
overall, kind of how it held up?
I was still there were still more parts of it that there were parts of it that I watched and I'm like I had the nostalgia kick me in the chest, and there were other parts I was just laughing. I just thought,
Yeah.
I remembered when Noodles gets tripped and he gets up and he rubs his cut arm, and I'm like, I remember that scene where he's like rubbing it like
I
a
felt
little kid,
bad for
like,
him. I felt bad for him in that
oh, so
scene.
did I. But I like those. It's still, I still found myself laughing. I still, like I said, I was
I would
still
agree.
laughing at Rambo. I was still laughing at him when I saw him see the mop after he was kidnapped. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I remembered it.
Yes.
I was like, my
That's
mom!
my
Because
mop.
he's shooting staplers at the guy's face behind him.
I
It's the whole
laughed
thing.
out loud multiple times. Yeah, I did laugh. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect. I've seen movies. I've rewatched movies I haven't seen in a long time and said, "Oh my God, this is actually better than I remember it." And I've seen movies that I haven't seen in years and said, "How did I like this movie?" Right? And so I was worried. I said, "Please don't let me hate this movie." Right? And I did. I laughed out loud. I loved watching it again. It was fun. It was still funny. I mean, it was, some of that was probably nostalgia to be fair, but I still laughed out loud on multiple scenes. Right? So I think it holds up as being kind of goofy and fun. And I think too, I thought about this too. I think it all works better if you don't think of it as a movie, almost if you think of it like Purple Rain, right? Where it's basically a 2 hour music video, right? It's basically just an hour and a half excuse for him to just kind of do skits, right? Almost, I mean, it
Yeah.
has a music video in there, it has that
Yeah.
mock up of Money for Nothing. It's kind of a mix between a hour and a half music video mixed with like Airplane and Naked Gun, in my opinion.
It was basically like an hour and a half, episode of Kids in the Hall or something like that, where it was just this or Monty Python, but maybe, obviously
Yes.
not to the level of Monty Python.
No, no, we should probably do Money Python one day, but that's not a, well, I guess we could do that.
Yes,
Maybe
that's
a movie. And I would say I agree with what you said before too. I don't I don't think a lot of these characters would hold up today. Cooney, Raul,
yeah.
Stanley has something going on. I don't know what,
Stanley, yeah, there's
yeah.
something for
I don't know what would
Stan.
be allowed today, but I don't think it's to your point before. I don't think anything, even though some it doesn't hold up, I don't think it was done maliciously, but I think it's still funny. But so two things we'll wrap up here. First, quick question before we wrap up. What was your favorite spoof, your favorite skit, if you had to pick one? Pick one. You gotta pick one.
Um, I, the you know what? Being in the tri-state area, I laughed really hard at Crazy Ernie, which I believe was a
I'll
mock-up of
club a
Crazy
baby
Eddie.
seal. I'll
When
do
he's
it
like,
too because I'm crazy.
that got me. And the seal's there slapping his
Yeah,
paws,
yeah.
slapping his fins
I'll
on the hood
club
of
this
the
baby
car.
seal. I have
That
to, yeah, that
that
was fun.
had me laugh out loud because I'm like, I remember Crazy Eddie in the 80s, and then I saw that baby seal. I forgot about clubbing the baby seal, and I that might it wasn't my favorite. It probably was that and Rambo.
I have to go with Gandhi too. And when he says no more Mr. Passive Resistance, I still think it's hilarious. Gandhi too with a machine gun and a Ferrari and one girl on each arm. It was hilarious. Okay. One last thing before we wrap up. You have a favorite quote?
I don't think I have a favorite quote. I will say that the thing I laughed out loud also, it is a line, so I guess it counts. It's this is pretty good watermelon. Stops and goes, tastes like poop. I'm gonna eat some cornflakes. So
I I like when Stanley says, "Hey, wait a minute. You guys aren't from the pizza place," when they kidnap him.
that was
That was a classic line. But yes, anyway, we're out of time, guys. This has been another episode of Movies, Music, and Middle Age. Thank you again for listening. Please follow, like, and subscribe. And thanks,
yeah,
Jordan. Thanks,
yeah.
everybody else, for listening.
Thanks,
And
Matt.
see you guys
Talk to you
next
guys
week.
next time. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye all.